Hey everybody, welcome to our Detroit Lions free agency preview. I'm Kyle Meinke, this is Nate Atkins. We'll be here all week previewing free agency, but the Lions are probably going to be active, Nate, particularly on the offensive line. They have 20 unrestricted free agents, and two of the best are right tackle Riley Reiff and right guard Larry Warford. Those guys can be pricey, particularly Riley Reiff, considering it's kind of a thin tackle market. He's one of the better established starters on the market, so he could be gone. I'm actually told that Larry Warford is more likely of the two not to return for a variety of factors, foremost being that it's a little bit of a cheaper market and they can probably find an equal replacement for someone who's going to cost less than Warford will. Reiff is more of a wild card. And so the Lions will certainly be active in terms of free agency and in terms of Reiff and Warford, what they do. They're trying to find the future of their offensive line. All right, Nate, let's start with the tackles. A bit of a thin market, not a lot of stars out there, but a few solid players. I think the class is probably led by Ricky Wagner. I think Riley Reiff is actually right there in terms of established, experienced starters. So just not a lot of options out there, but it was replenished a bit when the Jets jettisoned Ryan Clady, when the Jaguars did the same thing to Kelvin Beachum. So there's some options out there for a team that needs offensive tackle play and established starters such as the Lions.
I think Kelvin Beachum is an intriguing guy for the Lions because he's only 27 and he played poorly last year, which is kind of what people are jumping on, but it took him a while to come back from that knee injury. And so the Lions have to be careful in the medical if they were to check a guy like that out just to see where he is and if he could still produce, but he's a really talented player and there are a few other guys to look at as well.
I think Ricky Wagner actually might be the best option for the Lions. I like him a lot. He's only missed 3 starts since moving into Baltimore's starting lineup 3 years ago. He's still young at 27, so he's a guy you could build around for the future. He's solid as a run blocker, he's solid as a pass protector. He can do it all. I mean, he's not a star, but he's a good player in all facets of the game, and I think would provide the Lions with a solid bookend alongside Taylor Decker for years to come. Who are some potential bargains you see maybe further down the market?
Yeah, there's 2 tackles from the Vikings that I think you're going to have to consider a little bit in that realm. That's Matt Khalil and Andre Smith, both former first-round picks who've kind of not lived up to the billing here. I think Andre Smith shows more flashes of being a dominant run blocker at times, but neither guy really puts it together here.
I also like Earl Watford from Arizona, played some very good years down there, also has some versatility with experience at guard, so a nice kind of piece that you could add that would give you some versatility toward there in the offensive line rotation.
Yeah, and they could also just try and bring Riley Reiff back if it gets to that point in the decision process. But again, that's going to depend on, does someone want to give him left tackle money? So it all kind of is up in the air right now.
Okay, that's enough about the tackles. Moving on to the guards, Nate, who do you like?
Yeah, I think Cincinnati's Kevin Zeitler is definitely the crown jewel in this class. I mean, he's incredible pass blocking, run blocking. He's only going to be 27. There's really no holes to really look at in his game. And it's going to be interesting to see what kind of money he gets because guard's typically a position you think is lower market. But last year, when Kelechi Osemele tested the market from the Ravens, he got a huge deal, $25 million guaranteed, an average of $11.6 million or so from the Raiders. That's going to set the ceiling for Kevin Zeitler. And so if the Bengals don't bring him back, I think some team's going to look at what Osemele did for the Raiders, really set that bar high. He's going to be a guy that really shoots for that top amount, and then after that, you know, is going to set sort of the ceiling on the floor for a guy like TJ Lang, I think.
David DeCastro is another player who's a great player. He's going to be that second pay bracket if he even hits free agency. The Steelers might re-sign him. That's certainly a possibility as well before he hits the market. But if he gets out there, he's a really good player. He's in that second tier on the pay scale. Extremely reliable. I mean, he's a good run blocker, he's a good pass blocker. Only missed 1 game since 2013, no game since 2014. That would provide the Lions some stability they've lacked with, Warford as solid as he's been. He has missed some action. He's missed a game due to injury basically every year since his rookie year with the Lions. And so I think DeCastro would be an excellent fit for the Lions if they were to pay him that much.
Another guy that's really interesting to look at in that sort of top bracket is TJ Lang of the Packers, because this is a guy that's a little hard to evaluate because he wasn't that good when he came in the league, and now he's really good as a pass protector mainly. And the Lions have a running game they want to get together, but they're also trying to work out an extension for Matthew Stafford, pumping a ton of money into him. So they're going to really want to protect that quarterback, so that's going to be at the top of their list. It's going to be interesting with a guy like that. Any guy that's a little unbalanced in the offensive line, how much do you weigh pass blocking against run blocking? What counts as more? But that's a guy I think they could consider, but he also might get a lot of money.
All right, let's move along to the potential bargains. John Jerry from the Giants is one possibility, Nate, although I don't think he fits the Lions. I think he'll command a little bit more than what the Lions are willing to pay for a guy who doesn't run block very well. I like Tim Lelito from the New Orleans Saints a lot more, and not just because he's a fellow Grand Valley State Laker, but he has started 20 games for the Saints the past 2 years, and in an offense that's different with what the Lions have going on, but it's another pass-happy offense. And He's got experience, and listen, any player trying to get with value is going to have some flaws in his game, and Lito's got them. But he's got starting experience. He'll come very cheaply. If the Lions are looking to go that route and save some money as they pursue maybe a higher price tackle or something, that is one route they could go.
Guy I like the best would be Patrick Omameh in that group. Is a guy, Michigan guy who I covered when he was on the Bears.
And I covered when he was with Michigan.
There we go. So a little biased here. But he stepped in for the Bears and did a really great job just in the middle of the year. He did that last year for the Jaguars as well after Luke Joeckel got hurt. So he's sort of if you think about a real plug-and-play guy you can trust. He's a tough run blocker. I think he'd be good. Another guy is Mike Harris from the Vikings, who, when he stepped in 2 years ago, when he got moved from tackle to guard, was incredibly impressive. And then he missed all of last year with an undisclosed illness. And so big medical questions there. We don't even know what he's dealing with, but he's a talented guy they should at least bring in and kind of look at to see if he could bounce back and be an option this year.
The Lions, as they pursue free agency, a lot's going to hinge, Nate, on what they do with Warford, with Reiff, with what they do on the offensive line. There are a few options out there, and I think having a relatively weak draft class at offensive tackle could ramp up their interest in terms of what's out there, or in terms of bringing back Riley Reiff. But if they don't, there are some options. As the Lions look forward to free agency, and we'll continue to preview it throughout the week, so stick here at MLive as we continue to explore the Lions' options in free agency.